Dealing with losses, how to bounce back emotionally. Have you ever stared at your trading screen in complete disbelief, watching as a trade you were so confident in completely unraveled? That sinking feeling in your stomach, the rush of regret, the overwhelming urge to undo the damage, it's a universal experience for every trader. I know this pain all too well. I remember the trade that shattered me. I was overconfident, ignored my stop loss, and convinced myself that I was right. When it was all over, my account had taken a devastating hit, and I was left questioning everything. It was then that I realized, recovering from a loss isn't just about making the money back. It's about rebuilding your emotional resilience. Psychologists call it loss aversion. Our brains are wired to feel losses more intensely than we feel gains. This is why a single bad trade can overshadow a series of profitable ones. When we lose, our emotions take over, clouding our judgment and triggering destructive behaviors like revenge trading. I fell into this trap early in my trading journey. After a big loss, I would immediately jump into another trade, desperate to recover. The result? More losses. I had to learn that overcoming a loss isn't about rushing to make the money back. It's about regaining mental clarity before making another decision. Denial is a trader's worst enemy. I used to spend hours analyzing my losing trades, not to learn from them, but to justify why I was unlucky. But the truth is, every loss is part of the game. The moment I started accepting my losses instead of resisting them, something changed. I stopped taking them personally. I stopped blaming the market. I started seeing losses as data, as feedback on my strategy. Accepting a loss doesn't mean you're okay with losing. It means you're willing to move forward instead of being stuck in regret. One of the biggest mistakes I made was tying my self-worth to my trading performance. When I was winning, I felt unstoppable. When I was losing, I felt like a failure. This emotional roller coaster nearly destroyed me. I had to separate my identity from my trades. A losing trade didn't mean I was a bad trader. It just meant the trade didn't work out. Successful traders understand this distinction. They don't seek validation from their results. They focus on executing their edge consistently, knowing that the long-term outcome matters more than any single trade. After a loss, emotions run high. That's why the best thing you can do after a devastating trade is to step away. I used to think that taking a break was a sign of weakness, but it's actually a sign of discipline. Walking away gives you the space to process the loss without acting impulsively. I developed a simple rule. After any major loss, I take a mandatory break. Sometimes it's a few hours, sometimes it's a full day. The goal is to return to the market with a clear mind, not a desperate need to fix things. I started viewing every loss as an opportunity to refine my strategy. Instead of seeing losses as failures, I asked myself, what can I learn from this? Was my entry flawed? Did I ignore my risk management rules? Was I emotionally driven? By analyzing my losses with curiosity instead of frustration, I transformed them into stepping stones. The traders who thrive are the ones who embrace losses as part of their evolution. A structured recovery plan can make all the difference after a tough loss. Here's what worked for me. Pause and reflect. Instead of jumping back in, I take a break and review my trade rationally. Limit my risk. After a big loss, I temporarily reduce my position size to rebuild confidence. Focus on high-quality setups. I become extremely selective, only taking trades that align perfectly with my strategy. Journaling every trade. Writing down my emotions, thoughts, and mistakes helps me spot patterns in my behavior. Having a plan ensures that I don't spiral into reckless trading. It turns an emotional setback into a structured comeback. Trading is not about avoiding losses. It's about managing them in a way that keeps you in the game long term. I had to train myself to endure the psychological toll of trading. Meditation, exercise, and mindfulness became my tools for emotional resilience. The stronger my mental state, the better I handled losses. Resilient traders don't just bounce back, they build the capacity to withstand setbacks without breaking down. Trading can feel lonely, especially after a major loss. But having a support system, whether it's a trading mentor, a community, or a close friend, can make a world of difference. I used to suffer in silence, bottling up my frustrations. But when I started talking to other traders, I realized I wasn't alone. Every great trader has been through the pain of loss. Surrounding myself with like-minded individuals helped me stay motivated and keep my emotions in check. A loss is only permanent if you let it break you. Every time I faced a setback, I reminded myself, this is part of the process. The difference between traders who succeed and those who quit is how they handle adversity. I learned to embrace the setbacks, knowing they were refining me into a better trader. Over time, I became more resilient, more disciplined, and more confident in my ability to bounce back. Losses are inevitable, but how you respond to them is what defines your success. The traders who thrive are the ones who develop emotional resilience, who learn from their setbacks, and who never let a loss shake their confidence. If you can master the art of recovery, no loss will ever have the power to break you. Now, I want to hear from you. How do you handle losses? What strategies have helped you bounce back emotionally? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. And if you found this valuable, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights on trading psychology.